Hello, everyone. Welcome from beautiful Central Georgia. This is Penderosa Ranch. I want to talk to you guys today. I don't normally post too much. I think I might start making little videos and such, a little more, but I wanted to say something. There's been a lot of stuff, and I hear a lot of people talking about just life in general and things that are going on. And I want to tell folks don't ignore your intuition. There are a lot of things that are seemingly weird these days, right? There's a lot of, you know, things that seem to be like, just a little bit too close for comfort. There are things that are a little bit in the negative, fortuitous, right? You watch things that just don't make sense, and I'm encouraging people to don't ignore your intuition. There's a lot of folks I talk to on a regular basis say, I really want to farm, I want to garden, I want to blah blah blah. That's not coming out of nowhere. Your intuition is telling you something. If you're a person who's watching and you can kind of see the writing on the wall, it sees that the way we live our life is changing and it's not going back to the way it used to be. I want to say this kind of kicked me 10 years ago in which I got into this lifestyle, but probably, farming and everything else. But I want to say within the past 5 years, I really kicked it up into gear. And during the pandemic, I think a lot of people saw how frail our infrastructure actually is. It's emperor's clothes, right? It's largely, the Wizards of Oz don't pay attention to what's behind the curtain. And you're starting to see that come into fruition now. And I'm not a doom and gloom person, but I want to say this. I'm never going to tell people the sky is falling, but I will say you should be prepared for if it ever does and when it does. So here's what I'll tell you. Don't ignore your intuition. If you feel like, man, this don't seem right, it's probably not right. If you are in a situation, I don't feel safe here, you're probably not safe. You should do something to secure your safety or be somewhere where you feel safer. Now, I will say this. What I did and my intuition was telling me that the economy that we live in is not going to last the way it is. There are hypocrisies abound everywhere, even more so than normal. And I give you a couple of good ones. You have people in one hand saying, hey, listen, you are a crazy person if you're prepping, if you're doing things like this. But at the same time, they're also telling you that we have shortages everywhere. And in the future, we should anticipate having less. So that's odd to me. If the government's official position, whether it's FEMA or whether it's briefs from the White House, where they're briefing Americans that, listen, we're going to have to tighten our belts, some things are going to get crazy. But then also they're telling people you shouldn't be panicking, that the economy is great, everything is fine. That normally is an indication to me or to any sanely thinking person that things are going to be screwed. They just don't want you to prepare for it. So people who really have enough time to prepare for themselves, or they can capitalize off of your unpreparedness. So I want to say this, make sure you trust your intuition. And my recommendation is start to do things now that put you in a position of success if things in this country kind of resembles things the way they did during the pandemic. Our memories are very short. We remember what shelves look like. Money didn't matter. Everybody had money during the pandemic. It was money everywhere. And most folks, no matter how much money you could spend on trying to find toilet paper or fresh vegetables or meat or things of that nature, you could spend all you wanted to. You weren't going to find them anywhere. And I had eggs and it was crazy. I had people trying to buy a ton of eggs from me. And I literally, I had enough to feed my family and, give some away to some of the folks who I had been dealing with previously. But that is something that I made a conscious effort to do, which was to take care of my family. If you didn't, then you were pretty much screwed during the pandemic. It's a lot of people who got used to being hungry during the pandemic. So I would say this, trust your intuition, guys, and do some things that you need to do to make sure that you and your family are okay. So trust that thing inside of you, y'all. You have a great day.